하지 말라 이 모든 건 우연이 아니니까 우리 완전 달라 baby 운명을 찾아낸 둘이니까 우주가 생긴 그날부터 계속 무한의 세계.
Alright, what's going on, everybody? I am the one, the only, the WOOKIE, here for another episode of Drazcore and Friends.
And
acquaintances.
I still haven't changed. Drazcore friend and one acquaintance. There we go.
the folks who randomly showed up.
Yeah. I mean, hey, the name of the show keeps getting better and better every week. Maybe by like episode 200, we'll actually have like a name that works.
Do you have any enemies we can invite?
Do I have? Oh, do I? I have plenty of enemies we can
You,
invite.
Drazcore.
Oh, me?
Drazcore doesn't have enemies. He has frenemies.
Frenemies.
Drazcore doesn't seem to be the one who has enemies. I'm just saying, like, he doesn't seem to be that guy.
Yeah, it's not like I collect them or anything, you know.
I mean, I don't know what you're doing with your life. I would collect them. I mean, I shouldn't say I would. I do collect them. 110%, I collect as many enemies as I can get.
Is that healthy? I don't know.
I don't know. Hasn't hurt me yet, I think. Not quite sure, but we'll figure it out. But we got some things to go over this week. First, we want to go through the big tournament that went down in KC. Our one, our only Dr. Sheep went there. Sheep, how was Kansas City, my man?
Kansas City Keyforge was great. Had a lot of fun playing Keyforge with lots of great people. Kansas City, well, you know, it was a place.
A place?
It was a place. That's what I can say. Like we.
Well, you had that hotel issue, right?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Car and I went there, and
So you started off on the wrong foot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No. Actually, that was the end of day one. We ended on the wrong foot on day one when we went to our hotel room, and they're like, "Nah, we overbooked. Bugger off."
Really?
Wah.
We overbooked. Get out.
Yeah.
Is that a thing that's you're allowed to do?
Well, that's all right. So then, Okakar got it through a discount site, right? Not direct.
Oh, okay.
You know, which, I don't know. I've always done that myself. So he called them, and they're like, "Oh, sorry for the inconvenience." This is like 2:00 in the morning. They're like, they reimbursed me. It's like, and here is $19 for your inconvenience.
Here's a 20. Go sleep on the streets.
Yeah, I'll use this as my pillow.
So indeed, we slept in the car. Because the only hotel room we could find was like $230, and we were going to get like 5 hours of sleep at that point. We're just like, what's the point?
Did you guys take his Tesla?
We did.
How is sleeping in a Tesla? I guess now I need to know.
Teslas have camp mode, where they turn off all the lights, but keep the environmental controls running. So
what? For real?
Wasn't too bad. No, yeah.
They have like a fireplace that comes up on the window screen. Like,
no, it comes up on the
dash.
iPad and the dash.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
That's pretty sweet.
Yeah.
So you guys had a little fireside time together.
Yeah, I slept in a trunk. It was actually still a little chilly.
Wait, what? You slept in a trunk?
You slept in the trunk?
I need you to expound upon that. How did did the seats fold down and like you were just able to get in the trunk?
Back seats fold down, so I was like half in the trunk, half on the back seats. He slept in his driver's seat.
Okay.
Yeah, we didn't bring pillows, sleeping bags, or anything. So
well, you thought you were staying in a hotel room.
Yeah.
So why would you bring pillows or anything?
Yeah.
Like with that $20, you didn't think of like let's hit up the local Walmart and go get a couple like El Cheapo pillows and some blankets. I guess I don't know what's the weather in Kansas City like right now.
Who cared, man? We had a camp mode in the car.
That's right. Yeah. You were fine. Yeah,
warm enough. Like we weren't gonna die.
But no, we didn't think to like, hey, we should maybe take our 20 and go get like a couple pillows.
It was already like 2:30.
By the way, what the hell were you doing at 2:30 in the morning?
That was when the event. I finished my last game in the day one around 1.
What?
It started kind of late, I guess, right? Because they wanted Yeah, to get people there.
Technically, it was part of a charity event that was a 24-hour, starts at 6 p.m. on Friday and runs to 6 p.m. on Saturday.
Mm.
So it was like a
So-
24-hour. It was a challenge event type deal.
Well,
Or like
it
an
was
extra
run
life
with
type
a
thing?
charity event. Yeah, it was.
Mhm.
Yes, it was a charity event in that regard. So they technically the event hall didn't open until 6, so they wanted to give people time to get there and get set up. So the cards started shuffling at 8 p.m. on Friday, and then resumed at like 9 a.m. on Saturday.
Mm.
So yeah, Friday night we had 28 players show up for traditional Archon.
Mhm.
Okay.
I'd already loaned out my best deck to an AC regular,
Okay.
and I
Who
was
was that?
expecting Raider.
Ah,
Richard
okay,
Hader
yeah.
was
Yep.
playing one of my decks. So I was expecting either X-Ray or
Did
Z
he then
to be
offer
showing
you
up.
like $35 to buy it?
Certainly, he has offered me $35 to buy that deck a few
Yeah.
times.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just
So,
wondering.
I was counting on X-Ray or Z, from Team SAS to show up, and I was just going to mooch off them because that's what I do.
Right.
And they both laid
Neither
out on
showed.
me and played Flash in the Pan or whatever. And
No, that's not true at all. Z had a band thing to go to for his kid. Now-
excuses. Either way,
Now,
I
what
had to play
X-Ray
my
was doing, I don't
I
know.
had to play my own deck.
Boo! How
So-
horrible playing your own.
What deck did you play?
Woo.
I played Bell Warlord something or another, which is like a board flood mass mutation deck with a Kirby and triple Fandangles and triple Pismires and a Vault Blessing.
Ooh, fun.
It doesn't sound that bad.
No, it's definitely not bad. So a Matt won the event. He was playing Martian Generosity.
Okay.
And then
Okay,
Mark
okay.
took second, and he was playing a like 95 SAST Dav deck from Mass Mutations.
Mm.
I could not. I lost to both those guys. I could not. Almost beat the Martian Generosity deck, and I never even stood a chance against the Dav deck. And then Raider, I think, was pretty much in the same position because we had to face each other for third and fourth.
Okay.
So
Well, I mean, that's pretty good overall, right?
yeah, so I mean, the two decks I brought finished third and fourth, so I'm pretty
Mhm.
happy with our results for the Archon.
Yeah. Were you 3 or were you 4 there?
We didn't actually even play, so they put me in as 3, and they put Raider.
Oh, you guys are just like, I'm going to go sleep in my car now? Or you didn't even know at that point.
He didn't know.
Well, yeah, we knew. Well, yeah, we didn't know we
Oh.
were sleeping in our car,
Right.
but the prizes were basically the same for third and fourth. I'm like, they're both my decks, so
Doesn't
It's
matter
okay.
at that point.
I
Yeah,
let
sleep up
Raider
for next day. Yeah.
pick the playmat first and said it's fine.
Okay.
It's
So,
fine.
but they had these awesome 3D trophies. So go look around. I know there's pictures out there, but they had these awesome custom 3D trophies.
Now, are
made for
these
this
the
event.
ones that were built for, like, who was it? I can't remember. They were on the Facebook page. Somebody had put up plans for a 3D keyforge trophy.
I don't know.
Oh, okay.
The picture I saw was pretty cool looking.
Is it on
Yeah,
Facebook?
one was the Key of Darkness. I'm pretty sure is what it was.
Oh,
Mhm.
yeah. Then it's
like-
definitely not those.
Yeah, they're in our channel, one of our Keyforge channels here.
Buried
Sorry.
somewhere, I'm sure.
Mm-hmm.
That's the problem. It's buried.
But those 3D
yeah.
trophies were really awesome. But I didn't win one. And then so Saturday came around, there was 32 players for their sealed event,
Mhm.
which was 2-deck mass mutation survival. So you had to play both your decks. I opened some stuff that I can't complain.
Nothing
think
spicy?
I did not open anything that I would call spicy. I finished 9th.
Okay.
But Lokakar, he came in 3rd overall for sealed.
Nice.
So he did very good. Actually, second place was a 14-year-old kid.
Nice.
And first place was Hawk, who's on Sanctimonious all the time.
Mhm.
Been in our channel too. He's I don't know, well known in the community of players I play with.
Yeah, he's a good guy.
Yep. And yeah, the one of the decks was like a low 80s drop pip monster. This was the deck that the younger kid was on.
Mm.
And he's the one who took me out finally. And like, I don't know how anybody stood up to that deck, but when he went up against B-Hawk, it just kind of fluttered, where like every turn he was playing 5, 6, 7 cards against me, and then I was watching him play the final game, and he just got into this weird playing 3 and 4 card situation, and it wasn't working for him that game.
So what you're telling me is the draw gods were not in his favor.
No, well, and B-Hawk went undefeated he never even went to his second sealed deck, so whatever he had it was like low 70s, I think, but it was very good.
Mm-hmm.
Did all the things he wanted to do. So,
cool.
It was a great event.
DT sealed then?
No, that was Mass Mutation.
Or was MM sealed? Okay.
Yep, and then they had door prizes and cash prizes and all kinds of stuff. Like, it was a fantastic event to go to. It was well run. The events went great. They had Duncan and Josh down there to judge, so everything ran super smooth.
Nice. Oh man, I was already jealous, but now just hearing you talk about it, I'm even more jealous. Like, sounds like such a good time.
It was. I mean, like, the venue was totally reasonable. It was actually is a closed Kmart that they had.
Oh,
a closed Kmart.
Yep.
We need to look at that for the additional, like, for the next Keyforge live event. See if we can find us a closed Kmart.
Yeah.
Maybe our recording studio. We could get one of those. What do you think, Wookie?
A recording studio? I don't know where any of those are.
Yeah, I imagine Kmart. He may not have had to pay much for the venue, and I know that would be a big step towards another Keyforge Live being able to happen, is if we didn't have the several $1,000s in venue costs.
Yeah, that hotel kind of gave us the old... I'm still surprised we paid so much for that damn hotel. I'm sorry, I don't know. It seemed
there
like
was nothing else
so
that
much.
was cheap with a hotel. Like, that's one thing. Like, Keyforge Live was at a hotel. We had a room block right there. Lots of people stayed. Where this, the nearest hotel was like 10 minutes away from this place, which wasn't a real big deal. But if you have a lot of people flying in, it can be a thing.
Yeah. I mean, a number of the vault tours have happened at places that didn't have a hotel directly attached, but had hotels nearby.
Yes.
So it is an option. Like, I know at Albany, I walked back and forth, I don't know, 10-minute walk or something to my hotel. Stopped at the tequila bar on the way. You know how it is.
The tequila bar. Ugh, you're a brave man, sir. My gut's curling just hearing the word tequila.
No, you're not a tequila guy?
Oh, Lord, no.
I'm down for the Anjos, like the dark ones. Yes.
I'm down for all sorts.
Something wrong with both of you.
Tequila's
Something wrong
awesome.
with both of you. Both of you. That's just, I can't. I don't know. I'm too old for tequila anymore. I mean, I don't know. Drasco, how old are you?
How old am I?
I don't know. Do you need to do the math? We can come back around. I had to do the. I had to do the. So.
Well, so speaking of being certain ages, so I did hit a crazy milestone that makes me feel like a million times older than I maybe am. My oldest turned 13 on Tuesday, so I now have a teenager.
I also have a teenager.
It's crazy.
It's
and
crazy.
I'm the old one here, and I don't have a teenager.
Well, now the 14-year-old going second place. Like, I got to tell her about this. Be like, hey, you're almost in your prime for a big Keyforge event.
Saying there's a chance.
He did well in the Archon the day before too. So,
cool.
Like, that kid, he showed up, played well.
Yeah,
cool.
So
what else was the fun things for Kansas City?
Well, Kansas. So it was with another event. So there was plenty of other board gaming, tabletop gaming going on. If one was interested, although there was more than enough Keyforge to keep me focused. So I just played Keyforge.
Gotcha.
Friends of the show, Lady Red and Red Train also showed up, so we got to hang out with them some. They play with us
Cool.
regularly on Tuesdays and Wednesdays,
This is true.
Mhm.
They do.
so it's nice hanging out with them.
Can confirm.
And it was a good event. It felt more like a prime because of the number of people, but with
Mhm.
your judging and organization going on there, I would definitely go back. Like John and I were already discussing, if there's a Kansas City in 2022, which they
There
have
won't be.
a full title for it, which is the Kansas City something Open. I'm a bad person and was
Mhm.
not prepared tonight because I'm still
I'm still moving. We
Yes.
forgive you. We get it. You're still in the
I'm
transition.
loading,
Yeah.
and work has gotten real exciting again. So
Man, it seems like everyone's work is getting real exciting again.
Yep.
Is that
that's because the world's restarting, but there's no employees. So
Right,
those
that's-
who
that
are
is-
going to work have extra work to do.
that is a huge problem right now. Like, that's not even that's legit. Like, obviously I run a store and the world is going back to normal, but there's nobody working. And I can't tell you, I mean, hiring somebody right now is next to impossible. Next to impossible. So
I was even the person I'm freeloading off. She's a very high up HR person at a very large corporation, like a global, like whatever Fortune 500 style company.
Mhm.
And she was talking about their turns, and their overall is down employees still, even with they got $2,000 sign-on bonuses. They keep raising rates and all this stuff, and they're still hemorrhaging people even at Fortune 500 companies.
It is a thing that is going on 110%.
We could turn this into a recruiting podcast.
Man,
we could talk
Dan.
about all the jobs that I have available if you're in software.
Yep.
I
and
mean,
if
I
you,
have 2 positions available right now at my store, so it's
if
nuts.
you have any sort of chemistry degree and want to work at a chemical plant, hit me up.
I have no chemistry degree. Can I work there?
Yes.
Okay, deal. I'm almost ready to take.
Do you breathe
deal.
and can you show up to work?
Oh yeah, for sure. I do both of those things regularly.
Those are really what we're looking for.
I mean,
I'm just
shoot, there's days
imagining.
at my store I show up when I'm not even supposed to be there. Is that okay?
Look at you.
I know.
Look at you.
Overachiever, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All right. So, some of the other things we wanted to go through. Anything else you want to get kind of out there about Kansas City? Obviously, thank you to all those guys who did a fantastic
Thank you,
job.
Paul, for running that, and everybody who donated and helped out. Z, I know, gave him a lot of advice on how to run it from Run It Live. So it was a great event. It's too bad for them it wasn't bigger. They still did make money from the event somehow for charity, or at least did make a donation to charity off the event, so that's cool.
Mm-hmm.
I know my cash prizes I donated back to the funds and the charity because I wasn't there to win money. I was there to play Keyforge.
Nice.
So
You're such a savage.
They
Dan.
do another one. I'm very interested. So
Yeah, unfortunately, I was busy that weekend, and instead, my wife got into a car accident. So,
I did too right going into that, but mine was a very minor fender bender and just a new bumper on my car. But
yeah,
annoying because it was hit by an uninsured motorist, and now I got to deal with all that on top of everything else.
guys, I also was in the. What the heck's going on?
dude, my neighbor just got into a fucking car accident too.
What's going on here?
Like everyone's getting hit.
Oh my goodness!
Because nobody's working, we're all just driving around.
Yeah,
Driving around, hitting tires in the middle of the road. That's what happened to me.
I don't know how we're paying for gas. I don't understand what's going on.
I don't know how the world's running right now. I don't. I just like I say, I just work here. Like that's all. I don't really know. Nobody knows what's going on.
Dan, did you have any good Kansas City barbecue while you were there?
Oh yeah.
We went to a place called the Smoke Box, which is actually like a small chain in the area.
I thought you were going to say the slaughterhouse. I'm like, of course.
And
I'd eat there.
I had pulled pork and burnt ends, and they were plenty good, but actually that was one of the places where the sides kind of took the show.
Interesting.
Oh.
Okay.
You know,
What
you go to
were the
some barbecue
sides?
places, and well, I had just had whatever their fries, baked beans, and coleslaw were.
They didn't have mac and cheese?
I'm sure they did, but I'm not a big mac and cheese
You
guy.
got it. What? You're not a big mac. You are from the great state of Wisconsin, and you don't like noodles and cheese?
I like noodles and cheese fine. I just don't desire them.
Well, you would rather have coleslaw instead of mac and cheese.
I would normally order coleslaw over mac and cheese personally.
What is wrong with you? Well, Drascore, you live in somewhere strange, so you're on the East Coast, right?
Yes, Philly
Yeah.
area.
Don't they just hand you a lot? Oh, Philly area. Never mind.
Yeah.
For some reason, I thought you were in Boston. I don't know.
No.
I know that's not right, like at all. But I'm like, don't they just hand you a lobster every time? You're just like, I'll take the French fries, and here's your lobster. Like, here you go, fresh caught. Like you can see the place where it was caught. But I just made that up. But
No, the one time for my birthday, I think it was my 30th. My buddy, we were at some place. My buddy's like, "Oh, I got a present for you. You got to come out in the parking lot, though." I'm like, "Okay." So I got out of the parking lot, and he's like carefully holding this wrapped gift, and I'm like, he's like, "Here, just open it up. Just be careful." I'm like, "Okay." So I open it. It's a live lobster that's trying to attack me because it was like no rubber bands on the claws. He's like, "Yeah, I fished that out of the ocean today."
I mean,
was like,
it doesn't get any fresher than that.
Yeah,
It would
then
have been better if it was a dire lobster.
we went back and ate it. It's good.
Yeah.
Dire lobster?
Yeah, dire lobster.
I would love to see one of those. All right, but anyways, coming to a close on Kansas City, we do want to get into kind of moving into a different kind of topic. The last couple of weeks, we've been talking about how to pick your decks because you're trying to thin your collection. And then what kind of doubles are we all looking for? We kind of went through our doubles. Today, we're going to talk a little bit about player etiquette. This is kind of like one of those weird, strange areas because like there's people all over the board who think in multiple different facets of everything. The only thing that got me thinking about player etiquette, mainly because I was in a game with Sir Cloggin. Some of you may know Sir Cloggins.
The utmost of etiquette, I imagine, is where.
Oh,
yes.
gosh.
Yeah, well, the whole
Get
thing
yelled at
was
for
like,
reaping.
yeah, I got yelled at for reaping, and I'm like, what?
Yeah.
He's like, why aren't you you're not interacting with me? And I'm like, well, like the board doesn't I don't know how to explain. Like the board, my path to victory didn't include interacting with him. And he's like, well, if you're just gonna play by yourself, then and he just conceded and left. So I was kind of like, that got me thinking a little bit about player etiquette, because I've had some weird interactions with people, just random people on TCL. So what do we think? What are some steps to proper player etiquette in Keyforge? I'm licking all of Dan's tokens. I know this much.
Mm-hmm.
Don't lick people's tokens. Number one.
Well, the Kansas City barbecue sauce is still on them.
Oh,
so
yes.
That's why you should. Yeah, so you should get all that goodness. Yeah.
Gotta get all that sauce, man. But like,
Yeah, also all my funk because I didn't get to take a shower, so they're extra nice, those tokens.
they didn't even let you use the pool.
No, we slept in the parking lot of a closed Kmart, sir.
Oh, you didn't. Okay, that's right. I forgot.
And didn't get murdered.
Yes, of course you did. So, what are some of the things you guys think are very, very important in proper player etiquette? And this can be either TCO, because I have some stories for TCO, or it can be in live play.
Well,
Yeah,
kind of going back to your login thing, there is definitely a plethora of decks out there that we do call solitaire decks, right?
Sure.
Where I mostly don't care what you're doing, and I'm just going to do my thing, and if my thing works, I'm probably going to win this game, and, thanks for sitting across from me. And that's, that was definitely early lands, right?
Yep.
And it's part of Keyforge, and at top level play, like, you can't complain about it because it's part of the game. But definitely in casual kind of play, I kind of frown upon that kind of stuff myself because it is not real entertaining to play against. But depending on what your goal is, like if you're trying to practice your deck, get reps in with your deck and whatnot, like how else do you do it but make people play against it? But solitaire decks can be no fun to play against, but that kind of falls into the same realm as Heart of the Forest,
Don't
real
you knock my Heart of the Forest, sir.
real oppressive Quixel decks, and even some of the super high disruption multi-market disc control the weak decks, where it's just like they're not fun to play against when they work. I mean, I'm not saying they're not good decks; they're just not fun to play against.
Because here's my idea. Kind of when we're talking about like you're playing solitaire, aren't we all or are we both just kind of playing solitaire with each other?
What's
I
the
mean,
best
let's be
game,
honest.
like,
There's
when
no
I just-
interaction between. There's really like my turn is my turn and your turn is your turn. There's no interaction between turns, right? I'm not tapping blue to play a counter spell to say you can't. You're not allowed to play that card. So there's nothing. There's nothing for me to really do on your turn except for sit and watch.
Well, yes, but there are definitely a ton of decks where you need to react to what your opponent's doing, and you're trying to figure out how do I disrupt what they're doing, and which creatures do I let live, which creatures do I kill, when do I blow up their board, when do I when do I play that effervescence principle, right? There's a ton of stuff that is very impactful to your opponent and very impactful to what they're trying to do, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that is a little different than Dust Pixie, Nature's Call, Dust Pixie,
Choda. Yeah.
right? Like
next
and your
turn
turn.
Gateway,
Yeah.
Arise, next turn
Right.
Dust Pixie.
But my question is, like, okay, so
Foxy.
here I am sitting here, right? And my biggest thing is you have not presented me anything that I need to like. It's not that I'm playing solitaire. You just haven't presented me anything that's like a threat to what I'm doing. So I don't have to. So if you're not giving me a reason to interact with your board, can you necessarily be angry at me that I'm not interacting with your board?
Well,
No,
I think that
certainly not. There are just badly mismatched decks where it just really doesn't matter what I'm doing. You're just going to go about your game, even if your game isn't traditionally designed to be solitaire based.
Right.
Like that's definitely a thing. Our decks just don't. We're just not matching toe to toe, and that can happen in this game for sure, where you don't get to choose what your deck is made of, and like in Sealed and even Archon, where people are just showing up with kind of random stuff. There's going to be games where it's just not going to result in that interesting of a game. Like even my final game at Kansas City, like playing against the kid with his 12 draw pip Chronos deck, like I played a lot of turns, but it didn't really matter. And like every once in a while I killed some of his creatures, and he like looked at me slightly inconvenienced and then just went, well, okay, I'll just play these 7 draw pips instead. And I'm like, oh, hey. I just delayed you from a reap out and win. Good job, me. I'm still not going to forge a key this game.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, those games still happen no matter what, and they're not necessarily a lot of fun. But again, it's like the nature of this game, and that happens in Magic, right? When they have their paper, rock, scissors games where it's like, well, this is just the game where I'm not going to do anything because you have the rock to my paper. Or
Right.
my scissors. And
these happen. So I don't think that necessarily like you can get upset at somebody because like you said, because I have the rock to your scissors.
Right, and I do think it's a bit about making sure that or finding ways to make sure you're on the same page with your opponent as to what type of experience you guys want to have, what you want to do. And we know Cloggin, right? Like Cloggin may have been like, well, hey, these guys know me, right? They know that I don't love playing against those types of decks, right? So Wookie, come on, you should have known not to play that,
I think
right?
we were in Sealed. though.
Oh,
I don't
well,
think I was playing.
okay.
I don't think I brought that deck.
I don't know.
think just I was handed that deck. I don't know.
But there
It doesn't
are.
make it any more fun when in Sealed you
doesn't.
get a
It
crappy
doesn't.
matchup.
Yeah.
Right.
No, I still feel like, hey, like even if I'm like, shoot, like I'll still play the game out, right? Like I'm not gonna concede.
no.
Just me personally, but there are things you can do to help. Like I just jumped into Crucible Online, and I'm like, I'm sure there's somebody who's got something here. And yeah, and right now I can see Grunk Party 87's game. Shout out to Grog Party 87. It says SAS 65 to 75. So she is looking for for you to bring a deck in that range, and that's what they're interested in. And so Grog Party's made clear what what they're doing and what they're hoping for, what kind of experience that they want. And so it's a public game, it's not locked, so this person that came in here knew what they were getting into, and hopefully they're enjoying it.
Right. So yeah, I think that's totally fine, because obviously there's the age-old question of what SAS should be in what sections of TCO.
Nope, we're not talking about that.
Which I think is just, well, I know, Dan, I know you, refuse to talk about it, and I'm not saying, we need to put a number on it.
I just don't think we have anything new to add to that one.
Well, I mean, the problem is there is nothing new to add. Right? You're always gonna...
I'm a strong advocate of don't play random TCO games. I don't do it.
No?
I actively dislike playing random TCO games.
So, I mean, I will play... I'll go in spurts as to how much I'll play randos, but I always play... When I'm playing randos, I always go competitive, and most of the time, I have a good experience. And, some of the time, I end up having a good conversation with the person.
Mm-hmm.
And it's good. I can only remember one time ever that I was like, what the heck is up with this guy? Whining about something I'm doing and then smashing me and then just haha and leaving. And it was like, wait, what?
Yeah, what just happened here?
I know, right? It only ever happened to me once. Like the vast majority are either, minimum discussion back and forth, just a GG, whatnot. By the way, etiquette, say GG at the end of your game, even if you didn't think it was.
I think that's...
Say GG.
I think that's not necessary, but okay.
I think it's etiquette. I think you should, right? I think it's good sportsmanship.
Yep, I rarely miss saying good game, even after getting raffle stomped.
Yep.
So, although I do cherish when I get to play Ewok and he develops his board and he's just thrashing me, and then I just concede and disappear, just because it drives me nuts.
Well,
because he wants to finish out, wrecking my face. I'm like, nope, you don't get this pleasure.
All right,
goodbye.
So there is a difference between your good buddy and what you're going to do to your good buddy and somebody, some random person, or even somebody you've play with occasionally online, right? So I guess the old adage, right? Be excellent to each other, right?
Bill and Ted.
Exactly.
I like it. I dig it.
Exactly. Be excellent to each other.
Yeah. I mean, there's no... I mean, I've had experiences on TCO, and this is probably... I'm with Dan. I'm not about that life where I'm like, I'm just going to play a random... I'm just going to pop on TCO, play a bunch of games, see what happens. I am... I don't think I'm necessarily against the idea, but I'm not necessarily for it either, because I've had times where people are like, "You're playing too slow," and it's like, "Well, we're on a timer here, bruh. What do you think? What do you think this is? A vault tour? There's some timer that we gotta play a certain speed. I gotta play your speed or nothing."
Definitely one of the reasons I don't like playing random TCO is because I don't deal with slow games well.
And well, I mean, my guy just decided to do the old / command and just win the game. He's just forward / forge key / forge key / forge key, and it's like, I win. Bye.
Well, they disabled that.
Yeah, I mean, this is quite some time
That's
ago.
That's not good etiquette.
No, it's not, and I'm just like, wow. So, and then you're kind of left with nothing. Like, what do I do? Like, you know, like
Yeah.
what's my, there's no like there, well, at least I don't think there is still. There's no like reporting system where I can be like, this guy was,
I mean, you can
No.
block people.
yeah.
I
Block them on your own thing.
have
Okay,
exactly
so-
one person on my block list. It was the person I just mentioned.
And it's clogging. Oh, sorry.
No, it's
sorry.
not clogging.
Sorry, it's
not clogging.
Not clogging.
How do you guys
It's
handle
clogging.
takebacks on TCO? Like, I
I
am
normally-
a straight up allow everything
Yeah, I normally
because
don't care.
the interface is just clunky enough that I misclick all the time.
Yep.
And it, like, I understand why there isn't a confirm button for everything because it would just make it straight awful.
Yeah, it would.
But it also doesn't have that one click back button, which drives me nuts sometimes. So I allow it all the time. And then also the interface is crummy and people don't like to do takebacks when the interface doesn't come across clear and they misclick something, like clicking on the target before the pip damage on like upgrades and stuff. Like it's just not super clear and people mess it up and then they don't want to take it back because they feel like it's like their fault for making a mistake. And I'm like, that is interface related error.
I don't know if people like. There's a lot of the times where I'm like,
They just
oh
don't
man,
care.
I messed that up, and it's not that I don't care. It's that I'm like, oh, like whatever. Like
yeah, it's not
far
meaningful,
more.
so you don't want to spend the time. Sure.
It's far more time consuming to hit go manual mode, wait for them to go manual mode, and then fix it for like a pip. You know, because again, I play all sorts of just absolute trash on TCO. I've brought some real winners to our chainbound events, yada yada, so on and so forth. So
Toenail
like,
deck?
what's that?
Your toenail deck.
My toenail. I don't know why everybody calls it. It was next to the toenail.
You called it
clippers.
that.
No, I don't call it a toenail deck. That came from X-Ray. X-Ray's like, it's a toenail deck. I'm like, well, not really, but whatever. Like, I don't care. Call it what you want to call it, man. Like, it's your day. Like, it was next to the toenail clippers. My
Yep,
bad.
toenail
Yep, I think it's toenail deck.
I mean,
Yep.
you can't go a lot of places in my house without bumping into a keyforge deck that I've just kind of left lying about because
Or toenail.
oh yeah, there are no toenails. Toenail was whatever. I'm done. I'm leaving this cast.
Okay.
You guys are on your own. Yeah, no, it was just it was what it was.
Yeah.
So I mean, there are a lot of times where I'm just like, I'm going to Chainbound tonight. La da 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 da. Oh, hey, look, a deck. That's what I'm playing. Why? Because it's easy. Because I don't have to think too much.
There are no decks named toenail.
Oh,
Did
darn.
you check?
I was just checking.
Oh,
That's unfortunate.
that is unfortunate. Because if there was a Heart of the Forest deck that had toenail, or
Oh, it's yours.
Heart of the Forest, what else am I looking for?
I would
Pester
outbid
Grove?
you to burn it.
You would not. You would not, sir, because you wouldn't know it exists. But I don't know. Like takebacks for me, like I typically don't ask for them a ton, and there's a lot of times where I'm like, okay, what are we doing first? And then like TCO just automatically prompts it, and I'm like, oh wait, what am I doing again? And I have to go read to find out what I'm actually doing. So that happens to me a lot. I mean, I'm
feel
getting up there in age.
Ask people to do their takebacks because I definitely don't want to win a game because of an interface interaction that
Screw up.
wasn't clear.
Right.
Right? Like I never want to win a game because of a mistake like that. Like that just would make me feel bad. Like like if I'm going to win the game, I mostly want it to be against you doing the best you can. Like I don't want my win to come from your mistake. Especially when it's like interface mistakes on TCO.
Yeah, I mean, the interface is the interface. You know what I mean? It's not going to probably change anytime soon. I don't know. Like, I don't have a problem with takebacks. I don't have a problem with takebacks in real life either. So, like, I've been to Vault 2s, and they're like, oh, I screwed it up. You mind if I take it back? Not a care. We're good. Because I hate to say it, when it comes down to all that, if somebody realizes they made... Now, if it's like 6 plays later, and you're like, can I take that back? And I'm like, yeah, what? That was like a turn ago.
Yeah, so I think Yeah, and that's where I think there is an interesting etiquette thing, right? I think that right with TCO, it's which made more sense, right? Because you've got the whole like I tried to click on this thing and my mouse hand is bad, and I clicked on that thing, or I
Hey,
thought it
and
was prompting me for this icon, and I actually was prompting me for that icon.
Sometimes you've just had an ass load of Red Bull and you're shaky. Not that that's ever happened to me.
It's not going on right now. No,
Yeah,
okay.
it's happening. But I'm just saying, sometimes you've just had too much sugar in your Frosted Flakes, and you're like, didn't want to click that.
Yeah, but like in terms of like, mental mistakes, or you realize, oh shoot, like this is a big problem. Like there's definitely a little bit of a hey, in real high level play, like should you really be asking for that? And certainly you don't have any. There's no need to grant it, and I rarely ask for a take back in that situation, right? Like, if it was like super immediate, I'm like, wait, that's not what I should be doing. Like, but rarely. I don't think at Keyforge Live or Albany I asked for a take back at all.
Live play is totally different. Like,
yeah.
I agree. Like live play, well, I'm with WOOKIE. I'm pretty forgiving because, I mean, like, I don't have that. I really don't have that win at all costs or that.
And here's the thing, like,
nature. I'm always just like, yeah, whatever. We're just having fun.
Yeah.
When it comes to vault tours too, right? There's nothing on the line. Like maybe when you're in a podcast and stuff like that, like there's something on the line for you, I guess. Not really.
Says the guy who's not in the top 10 of the leaderboard.
Oh, you mean because I didn't pay thousands of dollars to travel all over the country? Not a big deal. It's okay though. It's okay.
Thousands? Try a little more than that.
Well,
I know you spent more than that.
I bought that spot.
You did buy that spot. Absolutely.
So I did. And I have granted at both those events. I let people do take backs, and I'm not generally like upset or whatever about it, right? Especially like I remember at Albany, the one guy like took a card out of his hand, like put it down, and like he still had his hand on it, and he was like, "Well, wait, oh, I meant to play the one first." And like he hadn't even finished saying what he was like. He started the name of the card and didn't finish it. I was like, "It's okay. Like just switch it." He's like, "I don't know." I was like, "No, just do it." So he did it.
I gave you permission.
Yeah.
Like, just
like you. This isn't a like minutes later, but like you've already done other things, and now you want to unwind like a whole bunch of stuff. Like
there was that
literally
one
just
take
grabbed
back.
the wrong card.
There was that one take back. And I don't know when it was, as you guys hear my Google Chrome probably going off. What? It was like the main event at a vault tour. Right? Mm. This is deciding who is winning. Mm. They wound back a whole turn.
Oh wow.
A whole turn. The judges allowed it.
Play mistakes or because of request and permission?
I think it was because one person requested and they were given permission. Like this was talked about. We talked about this on the show. Because, like, legitimately, one guy was like, "Oh man, I messed that up. Can I take it back?" And they rewound the whole turn.
So even this
started over.
I allowed somebody, like they played like 2 or 3 on Tame Creatures. It's like, "Oh crap, I forgot my full moon." And I'm like, "Well, just take the amber."
Yeah, just play the full moon. Like rewind it. How much amber would you get? 3. Cool. We're done.
I guess I'm definitely willing to forgive that one because on TCO, that is like a classic mistake I make is I play my creatures before my full moon and then I go, God, bless it.
I had a full moon. I guess I'm just not that, maybe I'm just not that competitive. I don't know. Like, I just, like, it's not a big deal to me. Like,
it gives me another excuse on, oh, I lost because I'm too friendly.
Yeah, I mean, you are too friendly. This is true. But I don't mind, like, as long as, like Dan said, as long as we're both having a good time, I think I'm good. I'm not really like, oh no, my day's not going to be ruined if somebody beats me. I ever
had that where I gave somebody a take back and then later I made some relatively minor mistake and they were like, hell no.
Yeah, that's kind of a no-go. I'm sorry. As far as player etiquette goes, if somebody gives you a take back and then later on somebody goes,
Like I think that's
nah, bro.
credit given,
Right.
Credit earned,
Yeah.
kind of thing.
Yeah, I
But
don't think that's
not
okay.
technically true.
What's not technically true? I guess
That
I lost.
if you give a take back, that you're going to get one.
Right. No,
I mean,
no requirement.
not technically, no. But I mean, if you ask for a take back, I think you kind of got to be prepared to give one. I don't think I'm crazy in that.
I don't think you're crazy in it either, but it is by no means it is an etiquette thing, not a rule.
True.
And as we know, even though as we are going through etiquette things here, mostly these are because we've experienced somebody not presenting very nice etiquette. So
Correct.
Now, one thing that I think is good etiquette for live play, and I actually wonder if would be helpful to me if I did it in online play, is narrating your turn. I think it's being very clear about exactly what you're doing, so you're not fooling your not trying to trick your opponent or get one under on them is the concept, right? And really being very clear with what you're doing helps them understand the game, helps make sure that you're both maintaining board state. I actually find it helps me, right? Like I have a better sense of what I'm doing and I have a better sense of what they're doing, and I find I make fewer mistakes when I narrate what I've done. And there have been times in person where I've caught myself on something like a like a stealth mode or something, because I will even narrate to myself, because of the stealth mode, I want to call house blah blah, and I'll start to if think in the other direction, but I'll say because of it and be like, oh wait, okay, yeah. I don't want to call this house that I've got 5 cards in my hand. I want to play my board right now. So I would call Sanctum instead, right? I that sort of thing has helped me. And whereas online, I find I make that mistake much more easily. And part of it is just clicking, but I do wonder if I even just narrated, even to myself, if it would help me online.
Maybe try it this week. I don't know.
How often stealth mode gets played in real play and then forgotten immediately by both players.
That's true. Yeah, that's true. So yeah, I haven't missed as much. Maybe no, they've just missed it as much as I have. That's possible.
I can't tell you. Yeah. I totally lost my train of thought. I had something I wanted to say. I swear to God, I had something I wanted to say. I just don't even remember what it was.
Yeah.
I think live play etiquette, gotta offer them cuts. I think it's pretty proper to shuffle, not just cut. But you can't be a jerk when you shuffle. Don't wank
Ruffle
your card.
shuffle those bitches. Ruffle shuffle. I want to see a full bridge.
Don't be the jerk who turns half their cards the other direction and shuffles them in.
Nobody we know. Nobody we know
would ever do that.
or Ewok. But anyway, nobody we know. Oh my God, that drove my anxiety through the roof.
Yeah, that got done to me this weekend too, and I was like, just gonna deal with it. And they're even heart sleeves, so you could tell.
Oh, okay, yeah.
God, I don't know how you.
Yeah, I definitely have to remind myself, because I'm, from playing, just playing cards as a kid. We played playing cards all the time and just riffle shuffle everything. So I definitely have to remind myself not to riffle shuffle my opponent's deck, because I will still riffle shuffle my own decks.
Absolutely,
don't care.
I do it. I do too.
I think that's where I then have what is then probably bad etiquette when it comes to actual live play, because I am very casual, I guess, about not moving tokens around, but if you steal, I just go to give you my amber. And most people are very oh no, you go put that away and I'll take one of my amber out. And I'm just, I am not that way.
Yeah, I think the big thing is especially because obviously people have paid you have the ability to pay some obnoxious money for tokens. I don't like people touching my tokens. Please don't touch my tokens, and I won't touch yours. Capiche?
Yeah, see, I'm touch my tokens. I don't care. Touch my cards.
Your tokens are made of pennies.
That's
So
yes, that
Right.
is true.
some
Shut up,
people
you were
are
playing with cardboard tokens.
I like my cardboard tokens. Please don't touch those either. And that happened once, okay? One time. God, I'm never gonna live that down. One time I had
Like the
cardboard
one
tokens.
time Ewok smashed somebody's deck together the wrong way, and we'll never let him live it down. That's how that goes.
Yeah, no, I know. I remember that time.
Well, it does maybe just go to a general rule. Like, you gotta maybe think not so much about what are the specific things you care about. Like, I'm, I'll play games and myself and the other person don't really care about, as long as we can differentiate the tokens, like we don't really care about mixing, and like things will be captured and there's like two different sets of tokens on it and you're like, whatever, right? I don't care. But some people really care about that, right? Some people are like, I only want to touch my tokens, or just I want it to look a certain way because the aesthetic of the board is part of my enjoyment of the game. And so, just whatever the other person is into in terms of handling their tokens, handling their cards.
I'm glad you
Like,
clarified that.
Just be good to it. Just be good to them, right? Like, you can do it with your own deal, whatever you want to do on your side of the board. But like, hey, if they want to keep their side a certain way,
I think it's always nice to
roll with it.
ask, like, do you want to share
Mhm.
tokens or do you want to use your own?
Mhm.
Which a lot of people do ask. I forget to ask, and then I panic because I'm like, don't touch my stuff!
Yeah.
Don't stop
You
touching
bite their
my
hand.
Those are my things. I don't know where your Cheeto paws have been. I mean, that's just me. I forget because I'm getting old. So
Mm.
Yeah,
Mhm.
that is a place where I probably have bad etiquette because that kind of stuff doesn't concern me
Right.
at all. Also, yes, when you talk about aesthetic of the game, I'm also the guy who says cards have art, and I feel the same thing about tokens. I'm like, as long as I know what the tokens are, don't care.
Yep.
Mhm. Mhm.
These cards have art? Oh shoot.
Did you know this game has theme?
What?
It's good.
No.
I got the Arctic Keyforge book over here by me. It's
Dear.
great. Yeah.
I've never looked at that book. I still got to read the whole Keyforge encyclopedia thing. Where I know, Jupiter's read it. I still haven't read it. Like, I want to find out more because I recently watched, and we're totally sidetracking with not a whole lot of time left in the day. But I recently watched Dune, and I'm like, I want to know everything I can about Dune. And then looking through a lot of the cards and reading some of the flavor text, I'm like, I want to know more about this world. Where can I find such information? Even though it's like staring me at the face. I think somebody needs to come out with that YouTube channel. Please, somebody come out with that YouTube channel so I can watch it. Because
staring you in the face?
No, weirdo. No, the YouTube channel of like Keyforge art, or not art, but like the story, right?
Well, Jupiter did a Keyforge art YouTube thing for a bit.
No. I want the story. That's what I really want. The story.
Gotcha.
Like, I want to learn the story of it, but I don't want to read.
No, you just find somebody like that. Well, there might be an audiobook version. I don't know.
Get me on this train.
Yeah. Like, I don't want to read. Like, I want somebody to do it for me.
Yes,
because
I want to listen to it in my car while I'm driving.
Yeah, I'm in the world of either reading is for suckers or I read like a fourth grader, so I don't read too fast. So I need somebody to read it to me, like a picture book. Is that a thing that exists? No? Okay. So I am all on board. Like, somebody needs to like make that happen as soon as possible.
Yeah,
I
gotta
did
say, there are enough
read.
other worlds I want to delve into deeper than the story of Keyforge.
There are.
I have read. Those.
There are many other worlds. That
No, and I would agree with you. Like,
interest me a little more.
Yeah, I wouldn't disagree with you, but I like, if there were a video of it, I would 100% watch.
But I guarantee you, people are writing fiction about like Ticket to Ride, and it gets read. So like people want the fiction for whatever games they're interested in.
Yeah.
That's just not me.
I mean, shoot, I don't even play Magic, but I still watch the story. I mean,
interesting.
Magic
you know what
has
I mean?
a story.
Oh yeah, Magic's got a
That one we
very
played.
long story.
Yes, I know. That's actually like I think it is the same base and strength that Keyforge has is that, I mean, like, early Magic didn't really have a story, right? The books came out.
Well, early
Around
Magic
when
had a
revised.
story,
Well-
but like not as like I don't want to say
But
not
the
as
early
strong,
books
but
came out around the revised 3rd edition
yes,
era.
correct.
Was when they started making
Actual
more formalized
storyline.
fiction.
Yep.
And, you know, one of the strengths of Magic is that they can develop the story to support the sets
Mm-hmm.
instead of the sets having to support the story,
Mm-hmm.
right? Or like fit to the fiction.
Right.
Mark H. and I had a little discussion about this in the Keyforge channel today. There was a little bit of talk, and like I think that's a big strength in like what Magic had and Keyforge has is where they don't have fixed fiction. Where if they started making Keyforge sets that fit somebody else's fiction, like they decided they were going to make it a Cthulhu themed game now, then all the houses and everything has to fit predefined fiction, and it really puts a lot of restrictions that Keyforge doesn't have, which makes it the game that it is.
See, but
Yeah, it's like I remember they came out with a Battlestar Galactica like miniatures game, like space miniature combat game, and I was like, how many miniatures are there actually in? Like, I love the show and stuff, but like, what is there, like 4 miniatures per side, and then like you're done? Like,
yeah.
So definitely going with IP can constrain you, right? If it's unless you just start making stuff up, which I guess you could do, but
And then, I mean, what's the other way they go where they like? Well, even Magic is currently doing it, where they are just making single sets for tons of different IPs,
Yeah.
mm-hmm.
right? Which Keyforge could do too. There's no reason there couldn't be
yeah.
a Cthulhu-based set, but I don't see it being super expandable, or it would have a very limited scope as multiple sets go on and multiple.
Well,
houses.
I mean, but every set could have its own run. You know what I mean? Like,
Sure.
I mean,
Absolutely.
this is the Cthulhu set. It mixes with all the other sets. You just have to make sure everything's balanced. That's all.
There is some other games that do that, like Smash Up does that, right? They even have some trademark stuff
not
in there
the
now, and
versus
that,
system. I'm trying to
that's
think.
just like, the clicky
Ultimate Fighting System.
I was gonna say the clicky miniature game.
Oh, yeah, like HeroClix.
HeroClix
Sure,
is
yeah.
like delved into all kinds of things, and that
They
genre
have wrestling
match actually
HeroClix.
doesn't do it for me. They have NASCAR HeroClix, man.
I did not know that was a thing that existed.
It
But
might
I
be a
do.
separate game, but I'm pretty sure they made.
We'll report back next week because
Yeah.
I have not a
We
clue.
will research our HeroClix.
Because I haven't played HeroClix in years. All I know is I remember going to Gen Con and you had to stand in the damn line because those HeroClix were going for like $300 a piece. The ones that they were handing out, and you just waited there. You just waited,
Yep.
and waited, and waited, and waited.
Or you worked for them and you got like a handful.
Right. So, I'm not sure, but we are coming to the end of our time. The hour has flown by quickly. We'll move into final thoughts. We'll start with Drazcor. Drazcor, what are your final thoughts, man?
Being excellent to each other.
Mm-hmm. Dig it. Mr. Dan?
Forge some keys on somebody's face.
On somebody's face?
That's right.
Where do you recommend we
Red
sleep
key
in
to
a
the
Tesla?
forehead.
Front or back?
If I were to sleep in my Tesla, where would
Precisely.
you recommend I do as such? All right, that's going to do it for us this week, guys. Thank you all, everybody who came into the chat with us. Don't forget, we do stream it live every Thursday. Patrons listen ad-free over at patreon.com/Archons Corner. You can find us on all your social media networks at Archons Corner. Go give the Facebook, or I'm sorry, the YouTube, go give it a like for us. I have had some people ask me about when we're doing the Flesh and Blood on Patreon. Me and Jupiter have to kind of sit down and figure it out. We don't really know what we want it to be because neither of us are experts on it. That's the biggest thing. I'm not an expert on Flesh and Blood. He's not an expert. This is more just a capturing our journey and seeing if it's right for you. So, we'll figure that out when we get there because we obviously have to have a base before we do anything else. But that should be coming soon. You can ask, me personally or Jupiter personally what heroes we're going with for the people that are interested. And that's going to do it. We'll see y'all next week.
Be forging, everyone.
우리 완전 달라, baby. 운명을 찾아낸 둘이니까 우주가